Welcome back to Superpower Reviews. My name is Liam Smith. Today we're going to be reviewing the Street Fighter CAMMY statue from Kotobukiya.
Search and destroy.
Okay, so the first thing, as always, we'll take a look at the box. This is the CAMMY Street Fighter Bishojo statue from Kotobukiya, of course. And this one in particular is the second round edition, which is basically the newer version of this statue. And as always, you have the standard window box for Kotobukiya, windows on both sides and at the top. Flipping around to the side of the box, you have a full image of the CAMMY statue, a little more information about the designer of the statue, which is Shunya Yamashita. Flipping around to the other side of the box, again you have the window showing the statue on the inside and a partial image of the statue itself. Flipping around to the back side of the box, I have two photo images at different angles of the statue and the same information about the statue and the designer that it shows on the side. Alright, so let's go ahead and get the Street Fighter Kotobukiya CAMMY statue out of the box and take a closer look. Okay, now I've got the CAMMY statue out of the box and mounted to the base. First thing I definitely need to mention is a few things when you're taking it out of the box. You need to be very careful because unlike some of the other Kotobukiya statues that are permanently attached to the base, this one actually just sits on the base. There are two plastic pegs that go inside the shoes. Just like that, and it just sits loosely on top of the base, as you can see. So you want to be careful with that when you're taking it out of the box. If you're lifting it up by the base, you want to make sure it doesn't fall apart. Okay, another thing you want to be careful with as you take it out of the box, you can see right away here, things like the hair, the ponytail, the bangs on the front. They are very fine, very fragile PVC pieces that you want to be careful with when you're lifting it out of the box. Now, as far as what comes in the box, you have obviously the statue, the standard Kotobukiya clear base. The reason they have the clear base is because of the character card that comes inside here. I'll show you that in just a moment. So inside this plastic bag you have a couple things. There are the instructions on how to disassemble the base in order to put the character card inside. Alright, so the way this works for inserting the character cards into the base, you just simply pull the bottom ring off the bottom of the base, take the character card, put it facing up, and push the plastic ring back into the base. Just like that, then you have the character card showing on the top of the base. Okay, and once you have the character card inserted into the base, you just simply take the character and place it back down onto the pegs. Again, you want to be careful because it doesn't fit on there snug at all, it just stands on there loosely. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over the details of the statue starting at the top. Now, first thing I'll talk about is the pose. Of course, she is facing backwards here. You can see the way her eyes are glancing this way. It's actually meant to be posed that way. She's not meant to be facing with her body in the front because then she's looking away. This is, of course, the infamous pose that CAMMY is known for, with her backside facing the camera. Okay, so starting at the top of the statue, she has her very well-known red beret. Coming down a little further to the face, this is the one thing that every single Kotobukiya statue is perfect on, is the facial features. If you look very closely at the details on the face, the eyes, the eyelashes, the profile of the face, the painting and the shading itself on the face is absolutely flawless, as it is on every single Kotobukiya statue. Now, if I rotate this around a little bit, you can see even at this angle, the details in the eyes are just amazing. The blue, the little white along the iris, everything about it is just absolutely flawless in such tiny, fine details. It still absolutely amazes me how they get such fine detail in the paintwork, because this is all hand painted. The process they have for this is just second to none. Okay, moving a little further down the statue, you have her very well-known green suit. I really like what they did on the coloring with this. If you look closely, you can see it's not just a solid green. They did put the wrinkles into the sculpting, but also within the wrinkles, they did a lot of shading, a lot of darker grays and blacks throughout the suit, throughout the wrinkles of the suit. Very three-dimensional, very realistic fabric look they gave it. And if we spin around a little closer to the front, you can see the same attention to detail throughout the abs of the suit, the shading within the muscles, the different types of paint used on it. Like I said, they use a matte green with the black shading on the suit, but on the gloves they went with a metallic red, which is also something she's very well known for, is her red gauntlets. Moving a little further down, of course, she has her camo painting that she's always had on her legs. And speaking of the legs, really great job they did on the sculpting with this. The muscles in the legs, the detail they put into that, the very subtle shading on all the areas where you would expect shadows or darker colors on the skin. They did very subtle airbrushing there to really make that pop. Now spinning around to the opposite side, this is really impressive here. The way they put the braided ponytails jetting out from her like that, it gives it a real natural flow, movement to it, as if she's striking right at that moment and her hair is flying. Once again, it's amazing to me that they're able to accomplish this amount of detail on such a fragile piece. You can see it's slightly flexible, but you still want to be careful. You want to make sure you don't bump into that or knock it into something, or like I mentioned, be very careful when you take it out of the box. And moving down to the boots, another really impressive area on this. They went with a matte black, gives it a nice natural leather look to it, but they put really fine details into the laces. You can see the individual laces that come off the top. Laces all the way down the boot are very finely detailed. Each eyelet for the lace is sculpted separately. They did a really great job on that. Now moving on to the gauntlets or the gloves. I love the red metallic color that they put on this. Gives it a very nice deep red tone to it. Some nice sculpting on the details there with black shading in between to give it some depth. Did a really excellent job on that. And while we're looking at the back of the statue, look at the muscle sculpting they did here on the arms, the back, the shoulders. Very impressive. Everything about it is flawless. Okay, so looking at the size of the statue, from the bottom of the base to the top of the head, you're looking at approximately 9.5 inches. Okay, as I always do, I'm going to go ahead and do the close-ups, the scanning around, the 360-degree view to give you a better look at all the amazing details on this Kotobukiya Street Fighter CAMMY statue.
Ready! Don't underestimate me. Get in my way and pay the price. Yeah! Up for a little interrogation. Ah! Strike! Smasher! Finish! Finished already, are you?
And that's going to wrap up this review of the Kotobukiya Street Fighter CAMMY statue. Go ahead and leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this statue. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any upcoming content. And as always, I'll see you on the next video.
This'll finish you. It's over! Mission